I'm going to call the Pownal Select Board meeting to order on Thursday, March 1st at 7 PM. The agenda approval, public comment, the approval of the minutes of 2/15/18, warrants, mail, administrative assistant report, road foreman's monthly board meeting reports, old business, Rebecca Dragon referring to Main Street Bridge 42, large gathering ordinance enforcement comments, and under new business, health officer, landlord tenant issue. Anything to be added, guys, before we move on it?
I have one. I'm mowing, I think.
A lawnmower discussion? Okay. I'm gonna put that under old, SC. Any other thing to be added?
Yes. I have another item that I would like to discuss.
Okay. So I don't have to add it myself. You're gonna, this is to do with, animal control?
No, it has to do with trash dumping.
Oh, hey, trash dumping? That's under old. That'd be the trash. I'm gonna add to the other thing to do with animal control under new business for tonight. I've got a couple of reports I wanna talk about. Okay, anything else to be added, guys? With that said, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, public comments. Do we have anybody here wishing to make a public comment tonight? No? Okay. Approval of the minutes of 2/15/18.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I abstain from that one. Warrants.
I think I'm with you.
Accounts payable
No, I'm with you.
in the amount of $11,569.55. Accounts payable invoice ending 3/03/18 in the amount of $4,121.88. Payroll ending 3/02/18 in the amount of $9,601.
99 cents.
And 91 cents, I'm sorry.
99, she said.
99 cents?
99.
99 cents, sorry. I was looking to see if that's the one I was. Okay, accounts payable ending 2/23/18 in the amount of $37,624.59. This has IRS for $2,900, Beamers for $2,700, Blue Company for $2,300, People's United for $2,700, that's the truck payment. Inks Press, $31.74, I assume that's our reports. I'd have to look at it, but that's usually what it is.
It's town reports.
Yeah, and Container Selling for $7,200 are the big ones, and Blue Cross Blue Shield. Containers were what,
Transfer station, yeah.
Okay, oops, that's not a report. Okay, payroll report ending 2/23/18 in the amount of $8,997.43. Okay, guys, what's your pleasure?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion on any of them? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
From 225, I think, accounts payable.
Okay. And
Payroll. Payroll.
Yeah.
payroll. And I abstain from the payrolls, what, the number 2 on the paper here, payroll.
225 too?
Could be. Okay, that takes care of warrants. Mail. We have some email where somebody is interested in being a part-time lister. Gail Rogers. What's your pleasure, board?
She's asking to be appointed. I thought it was, she hadn't got back to us yet by Linda's note.
Hi, I want to let you know Gail Rogers is interested in becoming a part-time lister as well. I would like to know what she would need to do to apply for the position. I sent back a message telling her to send a letter to the select board. And I noticed there's notes down here.
Right.
Tammy, does Gail still wish to be appointed? So I told her to write a letter to the select board. I haven't seen one.
We haven't seen.
No, I haven't heard from her, so.
All right, so we know we have somebody interested. If she's interested, have her come in.
That's it.
Okay. Town of Pownal Select Board, Board of Health. We have a letter with a concern of inspection by our health officer to a rental property. And I would like to make sure that a copy of this goes to our health officer. Has everybody seen this and read it?
Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
I thought that was what Jim was here for tonight, but
That's what I'm here for tonight.
Okay. So,
And I'm gonna request an executive session for that.
okay. I was gonna say, to me, it's close to legal, so I don't wanna read it on the air.
Yeah.
Okay. But we'll go from there. Vermont Agency of Transportation Department Excess Weight Permits. I have one for Marbetto. How do you say that? Marabito Holdings, Inc. Joe has signed off and put on the various things. What's your pleasure?
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye.
I think over my shoulder, Joe's got a couple more for me. Thanks, Joe. Okay. One is United Natural Foods, Inc. And again, Joe has done all the same things on this one. What's your pleasure?
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye.
Okay. One more. Elder Brothers Trucking and Excavating, Inc.
Move to approve.
Second.
And all the stuff is on this, the same as the others. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Just fall out of one of the
looks like a payroll thing.
table things. Belonged in there. Okay. We have a letter from the Hoosick River Watershed Association. They're doing the State of the River Conference in 2018, new uses for an old river. There's gonna be a panel discussion on the conversion of the Hoosick River sites. This will be Saturday, March 10th, 2018, at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Community Hall, First Congressional Church, Williamstown, Mass. The panelists will be Eric Kearns, Taurus, North Adams, William F. Scully, Hoosick River Hydro, North Pownal, Vermont, and Christina Younger, Thompson Mill, Valley Falls, New York.
Could we get that put on our website?
I don't see why not. Thanks, that's a good idea, actually. Do more of that. Okay, then we have the Bennington County Regional Commission agenda for Thursday, March 15th. Basically, the business is gonna be presentations from energy, brownfields, internships, culture planning, economic development, and other business that might be before them. For those of you that might want to attend, it's at March 15th at 5:30 p.m. at the Bennington Project Independence, Harwood Hill Road, Bennington, Vermont. Okay. Tammy is informing us that somebody is looking about reassessing their property, and she's working with that. Another matter, she is asking Chuck about the possibility of a laptop, so that she can do work outside of here as well as here.
Our lister.
You're right, Tammy, our lister, the one that's running for a lister as well, so it isn't like we're buying something for someone that's only gonna be here until March.
Do we know what we have in her budget right now? What's available for,
There's,
I think she has a line item for,
Well, there's a reappraisal fund, a balance of $177,000.
Right, what that would,
There's listers education of about 1,900 for those two things to do with the listers. That is certainly,
I don't think it would fall under either one of those, but I didn't know if they had money in the budget there for,
well, usually when we buy equipment for the staff, we take that out of the equipment budget, right, for the town office? So that's where it would come from. And I don't know just how much is there, but there's probably enough for a laptop. Most of your laptops you can buy now for less than $1,000. So the question is we have to find ways to make sure that people are getting answers quickly to their things, and that's where I'm at. To me, I'm for it. I think it's always helpful. I know we did this with Linda when she first came on board, so that she could catch up and keep going. We provided a laptop so she could do things. And I think it's a reasonable thing to do for our staff.
I think
I
it's
don't know,
reasonable,
we were
but
pretty critical of the last listers for crying out loud, worrying about how much time they spent in the office.
Well, this one would help us not have to worry about how much time they spend in the office.
I like talking to people face to face. I'm the old-fashioned guy, I guess.
Well, I think you
You know,
need that too.
I'm not an email guy or whatever, so to speak.
You probably
I was
need,
just wondering if there's gonna be any time when we're gonna have any listers here. in
my
this
understanding
office.
is that she is here at times. Is that true?
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, I was gonna say, my understanding based on what I've seen for hours and stuff, she's been here certain days of the week. She has a
couple
schedule.
of afternoons from 4:30 to 7:30.
Is there a
And I think
schedule?
a Saturday.
I was gonna ask that, did she put her schedule up on the web yet?
And I'm not sure if she's ready to. She was just training and stuff like that, so I don't
So
know.
right now,
I
she's in
think
that.
that's important for people like me, people that still live in the 60s. I want to talk to somebody and see them.
Yep.
I have to commend the work that she has been doing. She's been very, very helpful to me. Whenever I need something, I call, I leave a message on her machine, and I get an answer within 24 hours. She's trying her best to do a good job. I gotta hand it to her.
Well,
I
I
have no
guess,
problem with her capabilities. All I'm saying is, I'm asking that this is on TV, if the town, so the townspeople can know when and where
Yeah,
we
she's
have a
gonna be-
lister. Or if we don't have a lister, available, rather than, there's quite a few people in my era that don't pay much attention to these computers and stuff. You know?
and I agree with you, Ronnie. I think there's a combination of those things needed
And-
today because of the way information is being asked and how quick we can respond. I would recommend that we put a cap on this of not to exceed $1,000 when she gets done with the software and the computer. And if she exceeds that, then she has to come back to us. Would be my recommendation for a motion.
well,
And
she is working a full-time job also, right? So she can only be here certain hours, so they
Right
should be
now.
posted on the website. I agree with you, Ronnie, the hours should be posted on the
That's
website
correct.
so people know when they
Well,
can
see, the
reach
only
her.
thing I'm saying is, I mean, I've been here a lot of times to talk to the listers. They pull your cards or whatever.
Yep.
Well, I don't know, are all these cards gonna be on the computer? Or is everything gonna be all set up with just emails and computers? Or are you gonna get can they pull out a card and print and run it through the copier and say, here it is, here's what you got? You
Well, they
can go
can-
home and study it.
Well, they could
If
do
you
that.
want to.
Well, they could do that, and they could also scan it and send it to somebody electronically if they have a device to do that.
Well, they probably can. And I'm not doubting the capabilities of people, but I'm saying not everybody is orientated to this new system. You know,
And
just
I'm not-
people
I'm
like
not-
you in colleges and young people.
I'm not,
But other people in the middle.
I'm
a
not
lot of them
arguing
are
with you.
not.
I'm not arguing with you,
I'm
Ronnie.
arguing with you.
I know you are. So here's what it is. I'm not arguing with you. What I'm saying is both people have to be served.
That's
The
right.
people you're asking for and the people I'm
That's
talking
fine.
about.
That's
And
good.
that's what we want to do is serve both sides, not just one.
That's fine.
And we
I'm
have
not-
2 more openings, and let's hope that we can get somebody else to fill them, and
Which would
maybe they
be-
can cover
which
the
would be
other
nice,
hours.
because we should have somebody here.
Right.
I liked it before. I mean, I figured we had a very qualified lister and appraiser. And I come in here a lot of times and asked her questions, and she'd answer these questions. Which is, well, I guess I could have got on a computer if that's what the system was. But I was just curious for other people, because people ask me these questions, you know. They may sound simple to some people, but Some people don't realize what's going on. Well, how do I get this? How do I get that?
They asked me
If
to.
we talk about it on the air, now we know, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think it's a good thing. And I think the key is that I know that she's been trying to answer phone calls that have been coming in and doing things. I also want to thank Barb Schlesinger because she's come in and done some training with her. And is trying, because I agree with you. I think Barb did a super good job. But she is now helping us with Tammy to make sure that these things run smoothly.
And that's all great. I love that.
Yeah,
That's the way it should be.
That's right.
We should be trying to help each other.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of how.
Let's get back to the original request. This is not just for correspondence, this is for training and learning the job.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's going to use it in all phases of her work, is what I see based on this. So,
I make a motion, we purchase it with a cap of $1,000.
I'll second that. Got no problem.
I'd like to make sure that all listers are able to use it too, not just one.
one, right. I agree. Yes, it doesn't belong to any one
No,
person,
it
it belongs
doesn't
to the
belong to one
town.
lister,
Good
it
idea.
belongs to, if
The
we
town.
if we have other people apply and we have 2 or 3 listers, it's available to everyone.
Sounds good to me, and it also, one of the things I can see an advantage of this is when they go out and appraise property, now the way these programs work, they'll be able to type the stuff right in and
Right.
do things and get things done more quickly for people.
So who's gonna research it and decide which one we're gonna buy?
Chuck is the one that she's talking
Okay,
to about
very good.
making sure it meets the quiet. And I know Chuck's worked with Barb before too, so.
Very good.
Okay, got a motion, got a second, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Will you let Chuck and her know that, to go ahead and do that? Thank you, Linda. Okay, we got a legal notice, Town of Pownal, Vermont. The Town of Pownal Board of Selectmen will hold 2 public hearings as required for adoption of the town plan. The first public hearing for the town plan will be held on Wednesday, March 14th, 2018, at 6:30 PM at the Pownal Elementary School gym. The full text of the town plan may be examined at the Pownal Town Office during regular business hours and online at the townofpownal.com website. The outline of the new plan is as follows. Acknowledgements. Introduction. Our vision for Pownal. Population, housing, economic development, natural resources, land use plan, transportation, community facilities, services and utility, energy, implementation, references, review of statutory requirements and consistency with other plans. The proposed Pownal plan favors zoning changes in 2 sections of town. On both sides of Route 7, heading north from Pettit Lane on the east side and from the north end of Center Street, setback, but following Route 7 heading north. On the west side, extending to the land adjacent to the beginning of Jackson Crossroad on Route 7. These 2 strips currently zoned commercial would be changed to village. Second item, the Green Mountain Racetrack property should be changed from village to commercial, thus discouraging residential development since a great deal of the property sits in the floodplain, but still encourage appropriate commercial development in conjunction with our economic development goals. And it says, if you wish to any comments or recommendations, refer to the proposed town plan, and please feel free to email pownallcs@comcast.net. This is dated this February 26th, day February 28th. Linda Sharappa, Administrative Assistant, Town of Pownal. And the second hearing is Wednesday, May 2nd, 2018, at 6:30 PM in the school gym.
You say
There's
that
2
one again, Wednesday, May 2nd?
Yeah, May 2nd. 2 hearings. Wednesday, March 14th at 6:30 PM at the Pownal Elementary School. Second hearing, Wednesday, May 2nd, 2018, at 6:30 PM in the school gym. So they're held at the same place, 2 different days. One is this month, and one is next month.
No.
May. No, it's May.
May.
May, this is a month, 2 months away. That's
M&Ms.
good, but I think that's good, because we're probably gonna get some input, and we're probably gonna wanna dwell and take some thought on what the reply should be to the people that come to those things. Okay, then we have the zoning administrator log, this is for 3 months, these are the 3 months when it's slow, the 12th month, the first month, and the second. Basically, there was a total of 7 things that were handled, 5 were verifications and 2 were permits, 1 for an addition and 1 for a barn. And that was over a 3 months period. This time of year, you don't much of anything. Okay. Administrative assistant report.
Continued work with the chief operator on the wastewater treatment O&M FY19 budget. This was discussed at the recent treatment plant meeting. The first of 2 public hearings for the town plan was warned. Chuck has ordered the new telephone system. We have been experiencing some network issues here. Chuck will be at the office tomorrow to take care of this and finish working with copier needs, with scanning, communication with the computers. Tom Shuey's been to the office looking at the foundation work needed and doing a rough cost estimate, which he will have available in the next 2 weeks. The abatement in the rear safe is scheduled for Friday, March 16th after 3 p.m. and will continue over that weekend. It'll be necessary to close the town office. Staff will be notified to plan accordingly. The banner will be noticed, posted on the website, posted at the Village Market and Winchester stores where we normally do our regular postings. And I've started the 3rd quarter sewer billing today. And that's my report.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask, how long do they expect the asbestos cleanup to take?
The weekend.
Just the weekend?
Yep.
So
They have to
Seal
seal everything off in that area, and it's going to be necessary for Julie to pull some items out of there. We can't empty the entire safe, but we'll pull out as you walk in, and then they'll seal with plastic what's on the shelf to try to keep cover the books and everything.
cover it all up?
Yeah, so we don't have to do everything like that, and
Yeah, we want to make sure nothing gets out to the rest of the
Right.
right, so I'll send a memo email just to remind everybody, you can't come in over the weekend to do anything.
And what weekend was that again?
March 16th, actually it's St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Road foreman report.
Well, I guess I'll sit back here.
Yeah, fine. We'll hear ya.
Okay, of course, we've been plowing and sanding, as we will be probably tomorrow morning and through Friday and Saturday. Mud holes, we've been trying to keep up with the mud holes. We haven't had a real bad time this year, nowhere near as bad as last year so far. But I think most of the frost has gone out of the ground. The roads seem to be firming up pretty good. We'll see what happens after the storm comes through. We replaced a culvert on Crum Road, right on the Mass line. Had a hole in it, and it started washing part of the roadway, so we just replaced that the other day. Of course, equipment maintenance. I've been working on prices for paving in front of the shop up there. We talked about that back a while ago. Bedoin wanted about 17,000, and Mintrone wanted 97.25 to do the work. We have $10,851 left in the building maintenance. And I think we had 20,000 left in the building fund. So we do have plenty of money. After July, I'd like to finish the blacktop out. This is just to do kind of in front of the shop and around by the front doors and stuff. I'd like to keep going by the sheds and blacktop in the sheds, and this coming year close off the 2 sides, the back side and in the other side, heading north there, just so to keep the wind and stuff away from the, out of the trucks is bad. And right now it's just like a wind tunnel that blows right through. The boom mower. $18,000 for the whole boom mower. And that was from two companies. That was from Trius, which had Tiger, and Hudson River, which had Diamond. The biggest problem is, you probably read, Orsi made the smaller mowers for Diamond. They were an Italian company. They went out of business. It's real tough getting parts for them. Some of the parts you can get out of Canada, but by the time you pay the duty and stuff, it's super expensive. So I really have two options. It's basically $8,000 just to buy a new head for the old mower we have, or $18,000 for the new mower. We do have, again, $46,000 left in the equipment fund. Not that we won't need that all up this year, but because that'll roll over.
Is that a flail or a bush hog that you're talking?
You know, I'm thinking about getting a rotary, a bush hog this time, because it's a little better on the brush and stuff.
Yeah.
The flail mower was good, but it was real hard on it.
Yeah.
Just
Rips the teeth out all the time.
didn't last worth a nickel. So,
I know when we talked about it last, the mower unit itself, we were doing a lot of welding on, we had a lot of problems.
yeah,
My thing is, if the mower is worn out, the arm has got to be just as
Yes,
stressed
yeah, I know.
and worn as
it's been welded and
the mower
Bushed
unit
and-
itself.
it's, they're not a heavy duty piece of equipment.
And I think originally when we talked about buying just the mower head itself, we were looking at like 50,000 for the whole unit. Because that was
That
our
was
original discussion on
for-
a mid-mount.
For a mid-mount,
Okay.
the John Deere was the only one to put one on. It's really a little small for it. They suggested if you want to go that way, to get a bigger tractor and go that way. Obviously, we don't want to do that. It was $60,000. They take it to Pennsylvania, retrofit it, put it on, and come back and you have one. But that was ridiculous to me, $60,000.
So are you asking the board tonight to make a decision on one of these choices? I know mowing season sounds like it's a
Yeah.
long ways away, but it's not.
It's not really, no. Would you rather, the smarter decision is to buy the whole new mower versus buying, if the head was, I was thinking maybe $4,000 or $5,000, but now you're talking $8,000 for a head, which is high too.
Almost half the price. What's the warranty on the mower, the Diamond Tiger mowers? You
I don't know. I didn't get that far yet. And they were both the same price. So I didn't get that far yet. It's a decision to, which one we're gonna buy after that. Depending on who's got the best warranty.
Do we have any other plans with that equipment money?
The truck,
Besides a down payment on the
Yeah,
new
I
truck?
know. That's why I was thinking, because that will roll over.
well, if we don't mow the roadsides this year, I think we'll hear about it.
Yes, I do too.
So, I guess one of the questions I would ask the board to make a decision on is if we really want to go with a new mower, this Diamond or Tiger mower, whatever, why don't we put it out to bid? Write it up, put it out to bid, see what we get back for a price, then make a decision whether we want to buy it or not. That sound reasonable?
Yep.
We can do that. It's not a
I'll make that
problem.
motion.
Yep.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Wait a minute,
Oh.
this is for the tractor we got, right, Joel?
Right.
The case?
Yes.
Yep.
It'll go on either or.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's a
this is,
3-point hitch.
yeah, okay. I'm saying this would go on, that tractor. That tractor must still have some life left in it. It ain't that old.
Oh, no, that
No.
one's,
So
the
that's gotta have
International's
some life
fairly
in it.
new.
All
Yeah.
I'm looking at is,
Yeah.
you buy a mower this year and then we gotta buy another tractor. And
No,
and it
I
won't
don't
fit on
think,
the tractor and whatever.
I don't
Otherwise,
think you'll
buy it
have
all.
to worry about a tractor for a lot of years, really.
Okay.
Okay,
See,
well, that's,
the John
I
Deere
go
is
along with what they said.
in good
But,
shape.
We get, I thought you said they were both the same price, but I mean,
They are. They
Yeah, but a lot
both
of
give me
times
the
you get a
same.
break if you put it for bid to get two
Yeah,
forward.
they
They'll,
might,
they'll compete a little bit.
yeah.
well, that's
Yeah.
good, that's good.
Yeah.
I want them to compete.
All right. I've got a motion, I got a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. What else you got for us?
I talked to Joe today, Strohmeyer, and the gravel pit contract is coming along. They're still checking in on a few things. So hopefully within a week or two, we'll know something to be able to move forward on that.
They're aware that of who our lawyer is and the rest on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We actually also just got our first 3 grant approvals back for about $46,000 worth. We got a 20, 17 and change for near 18.
Can you tell us what they're for, what they're gonna be
The-
used for?
The 2 of them, the 20,000 and the 17 and change, are for West Carpenter Hill, ditching and stone lining down through.
Okay.
Needs a couple culverts for roadways that just come out onto it. The second one is for the road inventory, or the third one, I should say. The other 2 were for ditching, which is $8,000. It goes along with the culvert inventory, which we haven't done. So this way, when he does a culvert inventory, he can do the culvert and the road condition inventory.
Okay, and the road inventory for condition and stuff, is this to do with water runoff mainly? Is that the
Yes,
the
yeah,
issue?
yeah.
One of them we've already had.
No,
I thought we had an original one for 8,000
we
from
do.
last year. Okay,
It's
But he
still
hasn't
open.
done them yet.
okay, but that's,
I'm hoping he'll do both of them this year.
but that's the one you're talking about, they do in conjunction together.
And then, after they do that, you put together a capital plan. So you know what you're gonna be working on, what needs doing, and how much you're gonna spend. That's all due to the municipal road general permit.
It's what we've done for large culverts through the last
Yeah, they've done.
20
that.
years, where we've done a culvert a year. We had a plan and put them in place
Yeah,
and did a bunch of them.
well, this
Only
is,
because grant money was coming
yeah,
for that too.
this is gonna be the same thing with, the roads, bringing them up to spec, for,
There'll be some funding
the
support.
stormwater discharge.
Okay.
Well, for about 2 years, there will be. After 2 years, I don't know
Yeah.
how much you'll keep. Because we basically have, this year we have to file for our notice of intent. That's gonna cost us $640. The following year, we file for our permit, which is $2,000 a year, every year after that, for the permit.
This
So,
is after the inventory.
yeah. Well, no, we
Because when you're
have
getting
to
the
do
permit-
this.
Yeah, but when you're applying for the permit, are you applying for permits for things that you've discovered on the inventory?
No, the permit is to discharge stormwater.
Oh, to allow us
To allow us to discharge stormwater
off the
in-
roads?
into our waterways. So
Government at its worst.
we have 20 years to bring everything up to snuff.
We've been talking about it right along.
Yeah,
It's
Well, it's not a surprise.
Yeah, we need to, I know, we need to do it. It just is interesting that we're paying for a permit before we even know what we're doing, but.
We need, oh yeah, the permits, yeah. We have about 1.5 miles a year
we have
to do. We have about 35 miles of hydrologically connected roads.
Yep, okay.
So 3 grants and sounds pretty good there, Joel, huh?
That's, yeah, them are just to start with. We
And
still have
hopefully there's
the
more out there
V-Trans.
that we can go looking for and get some more money in.
Well, you know, that's fine, but you wanna kind of get the grant so you can handle, because we can't start on them until after the 1st of July.
Yep.
And then basically, if you're around water and waterways like culverts and stuff, you have to be out by the 1st.
Have to be done by October,
So,
right?
That's why, you know, we try to get what we can handle. We still have the Snake Hill culvert, or not culvert, but the road. That's still out there. We haven't heard anything, which
Yep.
I'm surprised that we should be hearing on that. We have the V-Trans Structures grant. They're not out yet. They should be out shortly because they're due April 15th. And the blacktop, Class 2 blacktop grants.
Yep.
So we still have them coming that we haven't done yet. And the only one I get, like I say, I have out now is Snake Hill project.
And how
Okay.
much is that one for?
Around 300, I think, 300,000.
Nice.
You know, we're trying.
Cross our fingers.
We are trying.
The town tries. Okay. Anything else?
No, I guess
Well,
we're good.
Okay,
what
you're
are
gonna
we,
put
what
the-
are we doing with paving at the shop? We didn't decide anything on that.
Well, I think we kind of did. We talked about
Okay,
it before. I just
okay.
wanted to let you know we're doing it unless you guys want to vote on it.
Well, I know
Is
what
everybody
the dollar.
happy with it?
I'm good with it.
Yeah, I mean, we need to do it. Isn't this where the salt comes in and out and stuff? Are you talking about paving?
Oh, it's where we wash the vehicles. Yeah, the whole side of the shop and around the
Yeah.
front. And like I
It
said,
must be a
to
mud
do
hole.
the shed, it is a mud hole. It's terrible.
Yeah, no,
terrible,
it's, that's a no-brainer. Okay,
So we'll do a little this year, a little next year.
and get it done, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other questions for our road foreman? No, supervisor. Okay, thank you.
Good luck tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
You want me to stick around for the bridge talks? Are you guys good with it,
well, won't hurt. Have a seat.
You don't have anything else to
It's the
do.
next thing on the
or?
list,
It's
so.
the next- Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the Main Street Bridge. Rebecca Dragon, you introduce yourself and,
I'm Rebecca Dragon. I am one half of BCRC Commissioners Walt for Pownal, and we've both been working on this bridge, the Main Street Bridge, from different angles. I talked to Joel and got all the stats about what's going on with the bridge, and I've been talking to Jim and then also Allison Stroll at the BCRC, trying to figure out what, if anything, we can do in terms of getting help with the bridge. So one thing we're working on is getting it moved up in the ranking. Right now it's ranked 4th for the for Bennington County and 233 for all of Vermont, out of a very long list. And so what she has explained to me, and the reason why I asked to come tonight, is that the way V-Trans gives grants quite often, it's almost like roulette. They put it out for only 24 hours and you have to jump on it. And so all these towns quickly jump on it. You have to have all your ducks in a row. We just missed one 24-hour grant, and she is going. I wrote a description of everything. She's going to a meeting next week. They're gonna present what I said. They're gonna talk about another possible 24-hour grant. They're gonna let me know. And so I came here to ask for official permission to apply for a grant, because there wouldn't be time if they put it out next Tuesday or whenever it is. If I don't have time to come here and talk to you and get a vote on it, I wanted to preemptively ask for permission to do it, and then I would just start writing up a narrative immediately so it's ready to go.
For how much?
They don't know. It changes every time. It's always it really does to me seem a little bit like a game, the way that they do it. So
It is a game.
yeah. So but I'm willing to help play it. So this is part of it, you know.
well, usually when they're doing this, and they put up these grants, and knowing people that will apply, they're usually looking at the work that is being done, so they make some judgment calls. Because why would they give you a $10,000 grant for something that's gonna cost you
Sure.
$1 million
Yeah.
bucks?
Sure.
Yeah.
You know,
It may just be the grant may only partially cover the issue. I don't know yet. As I said, we would have to look at it when it comes up, but with only a 24-hour window, it'd be really great to have a bunch of information ready to go. I mean, I'll use all the information that I have to have it already written and already have your permission to be able to apply it for it.
the way,
The only thing
Mhm.
is, I'd be careful of. I'd hate to get $250,000
That'd be
grant
enough to do
on
it.
$1 million bridge, and then you get the grant and
And
either
it's sitting
have
there,
to-
it's sitting there and you can't even do anything with it anyway. So what's the
Yeah.
answer to that? I don't know.
Well, the answer I see is that at this point, before you apply for this grant, if the board so chooses when they do that, is that you're gonna have to work closely with Joel, because at that point, you're gonna know what money we're applying for.
Right.
And Joel can make a decision whether or not we should even try.
Whether it's appropriate. Okay. That's, I have as, we're in contact, so it's fine.
I was just a little confused and wanted to clarify for people at home and myself that's trying to understand this, that we're applying for a grant and also I'm not understanding our part and why we have to give her permission to apply for it.
No money, the legislative body has to approve the state grants, because we're ultimately responsible for the use of those grants.
Okay,
If we don't approve, then they can't apply.
okay.
That's why you
Just that
see people come in
She only
here.
has 24 hours and she's gotta
So
come and
then I
ask
think we have
us.
to get together,
Yeah,
You call a
three of us.
special meeting and you
Right.
go in and you do
Yeah.
That's
your
why I'm
thing.
asking you in advance.
right.
Well, that's why a lot of small towns have that difficulty, because a lot of the larger towns, it's left with the town manager. And he makes that decision on the fly right then, and he can solve it. You know, when you have town administrators and managers and stuff, they're given authority that lets them basically make the choice for the legislative body on some things, not everything. But basically, you know, I could say like build a salt shed. But the bottom line is there are things that has to be done in a very short time. And for small towns like us, we lose out on this funding. We really do a lot of times because of those restraints.
Right.
So,
So let's just take one step back. So as far as the bridge goes right now, our next, not necessarily the grant part, our next step with the bridge is we're waiting for a new inspection from the state to come down. As soon as the snow's gone, then we can come up with a game plan there of what we need to do.
Because by looking at
For
their
weeks.
last
For just
inspection,
the general condition of the bridge, we got conflicting,
yeah, because by looking at their last inspection, Nelson,
yeah, I was
They-
looking.
they actually said the same thing again about stripping the cap off, and, which, going back through the records, you've already tried that and it didn't work. You couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, we,
So, and they're always signed by different engineers. I'd like to get a bridge engineer down from the state to actually look at it.
I can
And
ask
then-
if there's opportunities for that as well. I mean, I'll look into that as well.
the other thing I thought of was a counter, because it lets you know how many trucks go across or cars. That sort of stuff would be good if you could get the state to
Okay.
do that.
I'll ask.
And basically, yes, we did put a cap on this bridge, God, it's back in the early days of Casey, so it's been quite a few years that it was there.
87 or so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we knew
Last count.
then that wasn't the ultimate fix for the bridge, but it's what the town could afford, and we needed to fix it because it was doing the same thing. It had holes in the bridge, there was a whole section that was separating, there was a lot of things that was happening to it. So we bought some years out of that. The question that we would ask here is once the state engineer, you know, is that approach to take again, or is the approach that we see in the writing in some places where you take the
Brand new
cap
deck.
and
Right
everything
off,
off,
yeah.
and then you put the new deck completely
Yeah,
on it,
composite
the
deck.
prefabs.
Yeah.
You know, and if that's the right solution, then that's what we should be working towards. So you're the people, Joe, you're the one that's really talking to the engineer. You can talk with him and bring it down, but it sounds like you're gonna do the grants. That's why I think you two need to really work close together.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And make that work, because one's gonna know what the other, where we need to go, and I agree. A lot of this money that they give you a limited time limit. We just went round robin with that for $100,000. You know, so we know what those short things could
Work,
be if
yeah.
it doesn't work right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you have to spend them by a certain point. You have to
yeah,
do
so,
work.
so you need to know that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Why put a Band-Aid on it when you can fix it right?
It's all about the money. I'm talking big money.
Well, here's what happened. I'm familiar with the North Pownal Bridge because I was under the bridge when it was falling apart and helped with putting some of that together. The guy under the bridge, the engineer from the state, told me that the first time he came down here, it was $550,000 to fix that bridge. By the time we got around to fixing that bridge, it was a little over 2 million. But luckily, Charlie Palmer got us so we only had to pay 5%. Went through the state. Now, those are very important things to know. What's our percentage that we have to pay for this bridge?
We need to get Bill Batso involved.
Yes, you do.
also.
Well, in the minute I know all the details of whatever it is that they're offering, if we even qualify, I can immediately get together with Joel and we'll go through it and he'll know immediately if it's appropriate for us or not, and then I'll just let it go or I'll jump on it, you
Yep.
know?
And then we can find out, and we need to find out from the state what our portion would be for something like that.
Definitely.
Because we do have money in our bridge fund, don't get us wrong, there's
But
money
not
there,
enough
you know.
Right, okay.
to Cover a lot.
You know,
The other
well,
interesting thing
we
with
have
two-
$272,000 sitting there.
The other interesting thing, big part of this is the engineering for the actual bridge construction. Maybe there's funding for that part.
Okay.
That'd all be preliminary, I mean.
Yep.
Yeah, well, they do a lot of grants just for that sometimes without doing the rest of the construction, just having the engineering work
I'll
done.
come back to her tomorrow, I'll write up and I'll come up with even more of those specific questions so she can tell me even more possible programs or whatever it is for
Yeah, okay,
through V-Trans or whatever else.
okay, sounds super. Is the board in improvement or make a motion to give her the authority to do that?
I
working
make a
with Joe?
motion, we give it authority.
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll be calling you.
And while we're at this with the BCRC, I'm gonna ask Walt to talk a little bit about trains and the study that's going on about passenger trains.
Just as a
General,
follow-up aside
yeah.
to the bridge issue, I got notified from BCRC that they were having a meeting to discuss their funding priorities for highways. I got information on the bridge, Main Street Bridge from Joel, and took that down. The funding they talked about were for highway improvements for safety and visual and traffic flow and things like that. Didn't involve the bridges, that's a separate area, but I got all that information in front of the Agency of Transportation guy who was there, and the BCRC Transportation Coordinator is Mark Anders, and Mark said, the bridge stuff comes out of a separate pocket. Let me take this and see what I can do, and I'll get back to Joel on it. So they're aware of the problems with it. So at least it's been presented to them, and they know it needs attention before it becomes the Pownal Ford. But anyway, it's being looked into by BCRC. I got notified by a friend of a friend that people in Great Barrington area, Stockbridge, are looking at rail service to New York. The state of Mass bought part of the rail line down there, has been working on that, and through them found out that the state of Massachusetts has a new rail plan out, and they asked me to support them and send in some comments. So there's 3 pages of stuff, but basically I tried to focus on the fact that we need the links from here to Boston to New York and within the general area, and talking about principally the Pan Am line. MBTA comes out as far as Fitchburg. They were planning to push out further. So I said, look, you guys got to get us MBTA service from this area through the tunnel into Greenfield and on into Boston. It'd be a 3.5-hour ride from out here if we could use the T. The T has rights over that track. That was one of the things I talked about. Then I talked about extending commuter service the other way to Schenectady, and that would be, if you went from here, Williamstown, North Adams, into Schenectady, changed onto the Amtrak trains, you could be in New York in 4.5 hours. And trying to piece together some of these links, support for the Hoosick end, support for bringing T out to Western Mass through Springfield and out to Pittsfield, and getting T service out there, which has been kicked around in Boston for a long time, but nothing's ever been done. The other thing I mentioned was that there's this line that Pan Am owns that goes down into Adams to serve the materials group that does the limestone down there. There's a tourist train running on that line. But that right-of-way goes all the way down through Cheshire, Lanesboro, and all the way into Pittsfield. And the right-of-way is there. It's not being used. The rights to it are still available. And it'd be nice to see a light rail service in there. You know, a trolley that ran back and forth that tied the north end into the south. And so I submitted this stuff. I don't know what'll happen, some of these ideas. But Mass has been slowly buying pieces of right-of-way and upgrading. The Vermonter runs up through Northampton now instead of Amherst because they bought the Con River line and upgraded it, so that's good for passenger service in there. But just wanted to get to them and keep pushing for every piece of passenger rail that we can do, bit by bit, piece by piece, to try to get something done. It'd be nice just to have service into Greenfield.
Right.
If we had service from here to Greenfield a couple of times a day, that would be good, because we could get down to Springfield and we could get to those other connections. But not sure what'll happen. For some reason, Beacon Hill doesn't know there's much west of Worcester, but keep hoping and keep reminding them. But anything that can be done to promote passenger rail to serve the whole area helps Bennington, helps Washington County, helps Berkshire County. So that's what this piece is about. I don't know what'll come of it, but you keep putting a bug in somebody's ears long enough, eventually they scratch it, I
Right.
guess. So.
Good, thank you for your work on that.
Any questions, concerns? Thanks, Walt. Okay. Large gathering ordinance comments. Board had any comments on the large gathering ordinance?
Wasn't the latest thing we were waiting for comments
Chad.
back from Chad?
And he sent us some back.
Okay.
And I can go down them if the board wishes and tell you what I think of this. Basically, he asked about restroom facilities available or required. There is a place on the applicant in which they have to fill that out for sanitation, number of units, and whether they're male or female, which are there. And most of these things, the parking available is the same, emergency required, traffic control, security at site, whether it be food. Most of this is on the application in sections where they have to fill it out. I think his major concern is how is it authorized and by who, which would be the board, for anything under 2,000. Over 2,000, then the state has a permitting process they go through, as well as this states, as well as the board would still have a say and put into that. But it would be the state requirements that they would have to meet. So in these things, we don't have specific, you'll need 20 porta potties if you have X. That's gonna be a decision that we'll have to make, and there is standards for that you can find online, and that we could fall on and look at when people apply and say, well, it says you need X for whatever. So I think the real answer to this is that the board will have a large decision-making in the large gatherings that will occur. And I forget, was this for 200 or more? Do you remember what the
Yes.
number was? So things smaller than that, people are gonna do their own thing.
I mean, we've seen some events on Jackson Crossroad. We've seen some events at the gravel bed with motorcycle racing.
Yeah, this is for 350 or more people.
Right.
That's what this is for.
So I mean, I think it'd be interesting to see if those folks have any input or
Concerns they might voice?
concerns they may want to voice before we adopt a policy,
That's a good idea.
being that's going to directly affect them.
Well, and it's good to have a promoter actually look at it and see what he thinks,
Right.
get some input from them.
Right. I can't think of any other places that would be looking at more than 350
No.
besides those two. Maybe the racetrack if someone, they want to send a representative.
This would impact anybody that's having 350 more people gather at an event in town, that they would then have to come in and apply and meet the standards of those requests.
So it's not a large gathering unless it's 350 people.
Yeah, well, we've got people at Messina and others who have parties, sometimes they'll have 150 people at it, no trouble at all. And even the Legion must have people down there, sometimes it's a couple hundred. Yeah, so we're not looking for the smallest, what we're looking for is the things that would disrupt the town in some way. So, yeah, if you're in agreement, the board is, we'll send a copy over and ask them to give us some input.
I think Jackson Gross is Bushy, and I think North Pownal is Priscilla Maxon.
So, and ask them to give us some input.
Could we somehow also put this on the website?
I don't see why not. Yeah, what we do is put it up as a draft on the website, going through hearings or comments, periods.
Right, they could email us any comments or concerns or something.
Yeah. That gives the public a
And then,
chance.
we talked about where it has to be signed in the back on the rescue squad.
Fire rescue.
Any of those people that are gonna be required to sign it probably wouldn't want to know about it before before we adopted a policy also.
Okay, sounds like we got a list of people to send it out to. And put it up on the website so that other people out there can do the same. Okay, anything else on that? Okay, lawn mowing. What do you got for us?
Basically, I was thinking about a lawnmower contract,
That's his name.
and I wanted to know if I could renew the contract with the same prices as before.
Okay, would you announce your name so people know who
Jeremiah, Daily and Statement. We currently been doing the lawn mowing for 3 years now. I hope it's for a third.
Okay. Okay, any questions from the board and, or comment?
I think the difficulty is, I think we already agreed that the last time you were in, that we were gonna put it out to bid this spring.
Well, because I wanted to ask for increase. So if I ask for increase, that means you guys will have to go out to bid by law. I think if I renew it, or ask for an extension, you don't have to go out to bid.
Okay, I'm not sure on that.
Well, if you extend, I know, I think we've already done that, we've extended it once already.
Right.
The real thing is that at some point, we do have a large number of people that does that business in town, and they've asked us
Okay.
whether or not we go out to bid and get and stuff. Not, that, I personally find your work to be meeting everything that's required of it. We're very pleased with it. So the real question now will be that we're gonna go out to bid, it'll be a money question, is usually what it is. It's what the bids will come in for and so forth. Now, I don't know if we've got anything we've added to this year. Is there more things that have to be done, or is it still just the same, right?
I haven't looked at it, but I don't think we've added anything.
I'm thinking of any cemeteries or anything.
No,
I
that
guess
hasn't changed.
Oak Hill was asking, but I don't think they've come in yet and told us anything.
No.
Okay. Okay, that's where my
So
mind was
it would
going.
be the same sites.
Okay. Okay, so,
The only thing we added was having Jeremiah actually do the planting of the geraniums at the cemeteries. That's the only thing we added.
okay. Okay, which makes sense as part of the task. So I guess that the question I would ask the board is, are you ready to put this out to bid? And like I told Joel, the grass is gonna grow a lot quicker than we expect. But we got cleanup of cemeteries we have to do, there's a ton of stuff to go on.
The quicker you start, the easier it is in cleanups too.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, he's asking, if we put it out to bid, I'm sure you want to bid on it and come in. or the board, if they so wish, to extend the contract for another year, that's their pleasure too. That's up to them.
I think again, I'm gonna ask clarification on the procedure. We extended his contract once, and we can only do that once, and then we have to go to bid?
I don't think there's any
Is
law that
what I
says you
understood?
can't, there's no law that says you can't just keep doing it. The question is being fair to the community and the other people that wish to do the job, and being fair to the community at what the cost might be. Because when you go to bid, you might end up with a lower cost.
Okay, and when he came in before and said he was gonna give an increase, and we said I had to go out to bid, that's what we were talking about at the time. Okay.
So, what's your pleasure, guys?
I'd like to see you just keep giving it to him. I don't think you'll find anybody who'll do as chief as they do.
So your motion is to extend his
Yeah,
contract?
I mow lawns and I know all these other, nobody's gonna mow them.
Can I get a second to that motion?
I'll second that. I think he's been doing a great job from all we've
You
seen.
got
and-
somebody good, keep them.
Yeah,
Okay, now
I
it's-
agree.
Now we're gonna do a discussion. Ronnie, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts is, I don't think anybody would beat him on the bid anyway, went out to bid. Because I think he does a great job and he's very fair. That's just my opinion. But if you feel that if somebody out there feels that they want a chance to bid, I suppose it is unfair to just keep turning it over to the same guy over and over and over. But I don't think you got any sweat. If you put the same bid in, you'll get it anyway. As far as I'm concerned.
That's basically what I'm saying too.
Well,
he's a hard worker. I
Well,
think we should give it to him.
well, and to be fair,
But I mean, if.
we could
that's
put it
right.
out to bid, we still have the right to
To accept or reject. That's it.
reject anyways, and take it.
And we had a couple of really good people do the job. That guy from over in Reedsboro did a wonderful job, him and them kids,
Yeah.
kids he had, and this fella. Other than that, it's been spotty,
Yeah,
you know.
I know.
We've
People
had
come-
complaints. We didn't get any complaints with them two outfits.
I was
And
gonna say, I
I like
haven't had any
that. I like
complaints.
the no complaint thing.
I usually get a complaint
it's
about
good.
once a month there, and a couple of them.
But I'm
I'm
saying,
very pleased
but
not
it'd
to get
be-
any.
In order to be fair, if people think that, which myself, I guess if I was just starting out, maybe I would think, but I can't see how a person could. This man's got nice equipment. He's got a lot of investment. I can't see where another person would put that much investment in to work for what he does.
Yeah.
I can't believe he'd beat you. Period. But whatever you guys want to do, I don't care.
You've already said your piece?
Yeah,
I've said mine.
I'm happy with either
Okay.
way.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's extended, did we say for how long? We extended
That was gonna be my question.
another extension for a year, or is it
I'd say
extension?
give him a year.
yeah.
We don't want to give him a
Well-
5-year contract. He may get lazy and sloppy. One day at a time.
Well, on top of that, we can hear within a year if somebody else wishes to.
That's right. That's right. If there's a lot of complaints, you'll hear about it probably
Right.
tomorrow or something.
Yeah, 2 years, fine.
So you're extended for a year.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
Have a good
Jeremiah.
night.
Take care.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you.
thank
Keep up
you
the
for
good
coming
work.
in.
Thank you.
Okay. We have the help off for the land lieutenant and the animal thing, which probably both of those are gonna be executive session. And we're gonna ask people that are here to come in.
I'll make a motion, those two items go into executive session.
Okay. Before we do that, I wa-
Before you go into executive session, I'd like to bring up something that I ran into today.
okay, you want to talk about trash?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Before you do that, just so I don't forget,
so we're.
I want to remind people that town meeting day is Monday, March 5th, and it's at the Pownal School Gym. And I want to make sure that people know about it so that they can come if they wish. The other thing is to remember the vote on Tuesday, March 6th, the day after. If you need absentee ballots and so forth, you can pick them up from Julie here. Actually, is she going to have hours on the weekend for them to come and vote, do you know?
Yes,
So it's
Sunday.
Sunday. So people will be able to come here Sunday during the morning and be able to vote also.
That should also be posted on our web.
That should be.
And what time's the town meeting?
Town meeting starts at 7?
6:30?
6:30? No, 7 o'clock for the
7
school.
o'clock.
6:30 is
for
the
school.
school, I guess.
7 o'clock for the schools, 7:30 for town,
That's it, 7:30.
annual town meeting.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I was just
Why don't you-
trying to help.
I know you are. I have other people to help me that way also. Okay. Okay, with that said, let's talk about trash.
Okay. I got a call from a concerned citizen that lives up on the hill on White Oaks and walks the woods for exercise. And he came across a huge pile of construction debris, this, that, and the other thing on Noble Road, which is a Class 4 road that somebody has been using as a party palace. And we were up there for about a half an hour, and we cleaned up a whole bunch of pallets, a whole bunch of garbage
Right or left side of the road?
at the turnaround at the top of Noble Road.
Okay,
When
right
you
or
go-
left?
When you go up Noble,
Well, Noble goes all the way over.
yeah, but there's a big loop
It's a
up there.
right-hand turn off of White Oaks as you go up in there on the sharp corner. It's a
Yeah.
right-hand turn.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know where it is. I've driven over it. That's
Yeah.
why I said I know you drive right through it. And the reason why I'm asking whether it's right or left is because a piece of that belongs to the North Adams town, about 200 acres of it on the right. The other rest of it belongs to National Forest. So it'd be nice to know which one we would send a letter to about this problem.
I don't know.
Did you contact the state police,
No,
the sheriffs?
no, I haven't. I was just up there this morning for the first time. I walked up there and this concerned citizen and I
Did a cleanup?
did a cleanup and piled stuff up. But somebody's going up in there and raising holy hell.
No names, no nothing, right?
They really are. I did get one piece of paper that had a motor vehicle inspection on it, and I'm gonna contact the Massachusetts State Police and see if they can backtrack and see who had the car inspected in Pittsfield. And try to get, go
This-
back.
this-
Let's
this-
step back here.
this-
We have to notify law enforcement authorities. Our sheriff's contract covers illegal dumping. That's their job to
And
do
they-
that research. When we find out about a situation like this, we need to notify them and let them investigate it.
And provide them with the information.
Right.
Because they'll have a better rapport and working relationship with Mass, and they'll probably get the information faster than you can.
Okay, this is why I'm just bringing it up to the
Sure.
board,
No.
because I don't know how to deal with it. I mean, I take care of the roadside in front of my house, and I work with a whole bunch of other people that take care of the roadsides here and there and the other place in town. And we try to keep things cleaned up, and this place is disgusting.
Well, it's a dump. It's what, we've got one out on Indian Massacre Road, does the same
Well,
thing,
we took care of that.
until the next time.
Last year when I was up there, it's on National Forest.
Is that what it
Unless
is?
they moved their party spot, it was on National Forest.
Okay.
But anyway, I just thought I'd bring it to the board's attention that one of the citizens of the town contacted me about, taking a walk in the
It's not
woods
hauling up the-
and seeing crap laying all over the place and didn't like it, and could I do anything about it? And I said, I'll do what I can. I can't do much, but I'll do whatever I can.
All right.
So I will get a hold of the sheriff's department, and I will turn this inspection report that was on top of a pile of broken vinyl windows.
Yep.
And let them do the backtracking with the Massachusetts, police department to try and find out whose vehicle it was that got inspected. There's no owner's name on the piece of paper. It's just the serial number of the car and when it was inspected and all of this other stuff.
Well, but then they could tell where,
But I mean, you know, I'm up there with my rubber gloves going through bags of garbage and trying to find names.
It's right underneath you, right there.
okay. Anything more?
Nope, that's it for that.
Okay, let's, we've got a motion to go into executive session to do with landlord and tenant issues.
You're asking for one or you have one?
I made one.
Made one, I didn't get a
Okay,
second.
I'll second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.